So, welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to another episode of Meeting Virginia. My name is Lenny Richardson. I am super stoked for today's episode. We have Maher here today. Am I pronouncing that?
So it's Maher.
Maher.
If you ever forget how to say it, like the way that my cousin used to make fun of me, was like, "Where's my hair? It's on my head."
Okay.
And if you ever forget how to say it, you can call me Mo, because that's what like all my friends call me. My middle name's Muhammad. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference or?
Literally don't care.
Okay. Well, we got Maher, aka Mo here. Super stoked. I was doing a little bit of research on Mo here, kind of creeping on some of his projects. One, by the way, I didn't mention this before. I saw your Halloween video. I don't know the best way. Like kind of like a.
It was like a feature film, basically, that I did.
It was.
Is that what you're talking about?
I saw it on YouTube. It was like a few different.
Oh,
it was like the trailers.
It was probably a trailer, and then I think I had a couple clips of it.
Yeah. It was awesome, especially because I love horror movies. So like,
and it's funny. We were just talking about Dropbox and all these apps where you can put your footage on, or whatever projects, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Where I put all my footage up on there to send it to a friend so that he could help edit it. Lost all the footage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask more about that, but before I kind of get into and get on a tangent, could you just introduce yourself, and for the viewers and listeners, give sort of a brief summary about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Maher. I'm 27 years old, about to be 28 in March. I'm a videographer, do a little bit of photography as well. Currently I'm working for National Geographic, doing quality control work, which I love. But my passion is 100% being behind the camera and filming. That is what I love to do. So I'm hoping at some point within the next couple of years that is my goal, to be behind the camera working for some company, or if not, myself, and being like a producer and a director.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so like, if you can't tell, I'm super excited because just videographers in general, to me, is just cool. Like, I want to go back to the horror movie thing, because that to me is super cool. I don't know if I ever told you, one of my goals one day is to try to be in a horror movie. Really? So that's why like geeks me out a little bit. I'm just
none of my friends are interested in horror movies. My sister hates them, so it's like so hard for me to find people. Like, I go to see horror movies alone.
I'm the same way. Okay, I want to ask you questions about yourself.
Okay.
Before we get into that, did you see the last Halloween and Scream? Did you see?
Yeah, I saw both.
Okay.
I saw both opening night. The night before the opening night, actually.
How'd you do that?
Because at our movie theater, I think they do it at like a lot of movie theaters, where the movie comes out on Friday, but they have like a late night, like 10 o'clock showing on Thursday night.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
You should look into that, because they do it, at least they do it in Brambleton, like Leesburg area.
Huh.
And the movie theater is usually empty. It's great.
Really?
Yeah.
That is good to know.
It's awesome. And I saw Scream in 4DX, so my popcorn and drinks were flying everywhere. I did not know how extreme it was going to be.
Scream was awesome, first of all. I don't know. Did you not like it?
So I enjoyed it up until the reveal, and I don't know if we should talk about it, because I feel like not many people have seen it yet.
We're going to... if you're watching this or listening to this,
spoiler alert,
because all right, what did you not like about it?
Okay, the motive for the killers, it was too similar for me to Scream 4, and 2, it was just like comical to me, and I thought the movie was really intense, and they took it a lot more seriously than the other ones, where they had some comedy in it, but like the biggest thing, Dewey died. And I was like, holy crap. Yeah. Like, they're really taking this one seriously. And then they do the reveal, which I was like, okay, that's kind of good. But then they talk about the motive and how it was because they cared about the franchise. And I was like laughing at that point. And I was like, I'm really upset. And I just sat there with my popcorn. And I was like, I'm done eating my popcorn. I'm done with my drink. I'm over this. But I didn't hate it.
Okay. It was a very meta.
Yeah.
Very, very, very meta movie. About the ending, I think the thing that kind of bothered me wasn't a big deal. Was just, I forget her name, the girl, the the second killer.
See, that's the thing, is that I don't really remember her name.
I don't remember her name. It's like the goth chick.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just funny. There's one point where like it's when they show, I forget all their names actually. When they show the first killer, the boyfriend for anyone.
Don't know. Sam is the girl, the main character. Right. Forgot what her Richie. That's his name.
Richie.
Mm-hmm.
When they show scenes with Richie and they show Ghostface at the same time, you're always wondering like, okay, who's that second killer? Like, I kind of always thought it was the boyfriend, but at the end they reveal that he's one of the killers and that she's the other killer. And I laughed because I was like, there's no way that was her killing.
And not only that, there's no way that people wouldn't be able to tell, if we're being realistic, that people wouldn't be able to tell that that's a girl considering how short she is.
That's what I
compared
said.
to everybody else.
Yeah, I was like, it's clearly a grown man overpowering like everyone else. It's clearly a grown man's height. She's like 5 feet tall. I was like, there's no way that you're gonna make me believe. And then at one point she gets up after she has the mask off. And she's clearly like super small.
Right.
I was like, come on.
It's like, so you're telling me, I feel like she was the one that killed Dewey. You're telling me that you overpowered that guy?
That's why I said.
Yeah, like maybe he's a drunk, but still. He's a grown ass man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. 'Cause Richie was going on the elevator. It couldn't have been him.
Exactly.
So I was like, are you telling me she overpowered this like ex?
One thing I will say that they did well is their marketing and the way that they did the trailer, because they really made it seem like certain things happened or certain people were going to be the killers. Like, I think they had a scene in the trailer where Sam, the main girl, she was in the hospital and she came up from the sink and looked in the mirror and she saw Ghostface. That's what they showed in the trailer with the mask on. But in actuality, it was Billy Loomis. So they did like, they switched it out for the trailer, and that, I thought the reveal for that was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't see any. I don't think I saw any trailers. I knew of it.
Oh, lucky.
And I saw like ads about it, but I didn't see any trailers. So that's
one thing, is that since I'm such a huge horror fan, if I really want to see a movie, I watch too many of the trailers and I look too deep into them, and it spoils the movie for me. And I usually know what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah. I feel like that I do that a little bit. Sometimes I try to do my best to figure out where's this movie going. Is it going to throw me for a loop? Is there going to be some kind of twist?
And it sucks. Nothing's worse than doing that, because then you're just spoiling the experience for you. Yeah. For yourself.
I'm curious to know really fast, because one of my pet peeves with movies is if you see a movie, the trailer's awesome. Yeah. But then you watch the movie, and all of the best scenes were already in the trailer. So it's just like
biggest pet peeve.
You feel like that 1 minute of trailer was better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of how I felt about Halloween. No, so it's weird. I really liked Halloween Kills.
Is that the most recent one?
The most recent one.
Okay.
Other than the whole mob mentality thing, because if I hear "Evil Dies Tonight" one more time, I'm gonna kill the people that made that movie. Other than that, I thought it was really cool. Like every time Michael Myers was on the scene. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was about to say I don't want to ruin anything.
No.
Every time he was on screen, I was like, this is like what I look for in a Halloween movie. This is great. Then they did the Evil Dies Tonight and the whole hospital scene. And I'm like, that movie could have been 30 minutes shorter without any of that. And that would have been a solid movie.
So true. Yeah. Speaking of Halloween, one of my favorite parts about the movie, I never remember like characters in horror movies, but the one sort of like older guy that was alive when I guess Michael Myers first terrorized the town. They're at the bar and they hear that he's back. They think he's back in town.
Oh, are you talking about Tommy?
Is that Tommy? Like
is that the one that does the speech?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they find out that they think Michael Myers is back, and to me the funniest part of the movie is he goes and he gets like a bat, and the entire movie's carrying this bat, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, people have tried flamethrowers, saws, guns. Nothing worked.
Thank you.
But that bat.
Apparently, the bat's gonna do it.
The bat's a thing that'll stop.
Did you not notice at the end when they had when they tricked him into picking up his mask and the whole mob was there in the street and they beat him up?
What about it?
If you play that back, when they reveal him looking at everybody and the sheriff comes up like with his gun, there's a lady standing there, with an iron. Like an iron, like an unplugged iron, like wrapped up. It's hilarious, and so many people pointed it out, and I didn't realize until I saw it on Twitter.
I didn't see that. I gotta watch that.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, kind of moving away from the horror movies.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know what got you into, I guess, being a videographer. Was that something you always wanted to do, or did you kind of pick that up?
See, that's always like a tough question for me because I feel like I remember exactly what it was, but I don't know if there was a specific moment necessarily when I was younger. But from what I recall, I would just be watching movies all the time and noticing like little inconsistency errors, like that person during the scene, you know, a dinner scene has their glass half full of water, right? And then the next time they cut to that person, it's empty, and then it's full again.
Yeah.
And I would just like point stuff out like that, or I would see something that was just poorly filmed, and I'm like, oh, I bet one day I could film better than that. And then I just somehow one day got the urge to buy myself my first little camcorder, and I would film horrible little clips with my family and stuff, and then I think it was a movie that I saw that just had really great cinematography and the color correction was great, and I was like, I want to learn more about this. And I had no idea what I wanted to do all throughout of high school until my senior year. And the second, like, my family thought I was going to be like a huge failure. And then the second that I said, I think I'm interested in film, my dad was like, what school do you want to look at? I was like, I want to go to the Art Institute. This looks like a cool school. He was like, we're going tomorrow and we're
That's
doing
awesome.
a tour.
Wow.
And
that's
then
cool.
he enrolled me like the next week.
That's really cool. I feel like saying you want to do anything related to art is a tough sell for parents, because I feel like most parents are just kind of like, oh, you're not going to be a doctor,
Exactly.
or engineer.
Right.
So that's awesome that, I don't know if both your parents, but at least your father, it's awesome that he was supportive, because
somehow both of them were supportive. And I was worried about the exact same thing that you were just talking about, because I mean it's hard to be successful in the art industry in itself, especially this like video production. I feel like it's so competitive, and you have to know the right people to do well and, you know, get up to where you want to be.
Yeah. I'm curious, are you one of the people, because I do this all the time, are you one of the people who in movie theaters points out like weird plot lines, or because I'm that guy all the time.
Yeah.
My friends hate it.
So like we were just, me and my sister went to watch Scream, and I was like, you know what I just realized about these movies? When they're watching Stab 1, Stab 2, how the hell did they know the dialogue of the dialogue she had with her boyfriend, or how this person died? How are they mimicking it like scene by scene? Like there's no way. But then again, I thought about it and I was like, you know, Scream is very meta. But I always point out like inconsistencies and like just poorly filmed scenes or something, and people get actually very annoyed with me when they watch movies because of that.
See, I feel like if we ever went to the movie theaters, I feel like everyone would hate us.
Yeah.
But it'd be like funny. It's just like, did you notice that clock said 6 when that guy walked in?
Exactly.
And then he walked out 10 minutes later, but now it says 10. That doesn't make any sense. What's going on with this movie?
Thankfully, I'm not loud in the movie theater.
I
hate that.
I am. I'm that
Oh,
guy.
God.
I'm not like terribly
You're
loud,
not screaming, are
no,
you?
No,
Okay.
no. But have you ever seen Licorice Pizza? I think that's what it's called. It's like an indie film.
I haven't. And I love indie films.
It's really good. I recommend it.
Indie films are the best. I used to hate those like slow-paced films, which I feel like all indie films are like. Now I'm obsessed with them.
It's good. I feel like it's a good break from
Okay.
normal movies where sometimes it feels more like a cash grab than
Yeah.
a well thought out movie. But long story short, me and a friend saw Licorice Pizza, and the entire movie I'm doing that. And this one guy, it wasn't that many people in the movie theater, which is why I felt like I could get away with it. I guess I didn't realize how loud I was. And the guy in front, he goes, he's like, "Hey man, can you just keep it down a little bit?" And I'm just like, sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually, even though it really upsets me when people are loud in a movie theater, or like, I have a pet peeve. I don't want to hear people eat. It drives me insane. I'm sorry. Like, if I hear you chew, I have envisioned your death. So if I like hear people eat popcorn or talk loud in a movie theater, I won't say anything, and my sister's the one that will like, shut the up. And I'm like, stop. But if someone's like chewing next to me and I can hear it, I'm just like giving them the death stare.
So You ended up going to what you said film school. Which film school?
So I went to the Art Institute of Washington.
Art Institute of Washington.
I'm ashamed to say that I never fully finished, but
That's fine.
the 2 years that I was there, I think my first year I almost felt as if, I think it's because it was like, the freshman year they were easing you into the programs that they use and the cameras, and by that point I felt like I had already taught myself a lot with YouTube and just using cameras by myself, that I wasn't really learning anything until my second year, and that's when I learned a lot about cinema cameras and stuff like that, and it was so much fun. Like, that school was all hands-on. It was great. I loved it. I'm definitely going to go back someday and finish my degree, because I'm not wasting all that money, those student loans for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing well though without the need to finish, I mean, I guess maybe it creates a sense of closure.
Yeah,
I guess you can call it that.
That's the thing, is that like I'm doing well, and I feel like I don't necessarily need it, but at the same time I would feel more accomplished if I at least had that degree. I don't think I really need it. I don't think that I would be getting paid more if I had a BA in film, but it would help, and I know like my family would be proud of me, so that's a good thing. And it was it was a lot of fun. Like, there was never one day in school, as opposed to high school, where I was like, this sucks. I was like, this is what I love doing. So but at the same time, it's like, now I'm working full time and I'm doing stuff on the side. It's like, when would I have time to go back? I would basically have to quit my job, or at least go down to part time, which doesn't sound ideal when you have bills.
Yeah. That's the I'm assuming too you can't do anything like online that's super short or not too time consuming.
I bet I could, but I think with film, the way, like, if I were to go back to school, I would want it to be more hands on, because I think that's the best way that I'm gonna learn how to do stuff like that.
That's fair. That makes sense. Makes sense. So I wanted to ask as well, you said you work with National Geographic now. Are you doing kind of filming for them, or is it sort of?
I wish.
Okay.
So all the filming stuff is in LA, and we do the post-production stuff. So my job for National Geographic is like, when all the shows are edited, they come to me and people in my department, and we watch over the shows and we document and flag any technical or content errors that we find, and we send it back to those editors and we say, hey, you need to fix these, or either approve that those are like a stylistic choice. Okay. And once those are fully fixed, we can send it off and get it aired to TV. If there's like a content error, like someone's name being spelt wrong, and something as simple as that being spelt wrong in the credits, we could literally get fired if we don't flag that and get it fixed.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long does that all like? I guess the entire process. I'm always curious because, and I don't know if you have like a specific answer or like a range, but I guess say National Geographic does a documentary. I guess from concept to shooting to editing to, I guess, the final product. Do you know about how long that takes, or?
I have no idea. The only thing that I know really is how long like our process takes, which is the QC, the quality control. And for like, that's also a difficult question because there are different parts of QC. Like it comes in through a certain department, which now I'm working for, which is a little bit higher up, and then it goes through like another set of QC people. So it's almost looked at like 4 to 5 times before it goes to air. Because that's how many eyes they need to be on that show, on each show, so that we know that everything is like perfect.
Okay. Wow.
So it could take, I would say, like a maybe 3-4 days per show once it gets to QC. For before that, like editing, filming, I have absolutely no clue. Hoping to learn that one day though.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine that's, I mean, even that, like the quality control sounds like it's a very just, I guess, meticulous kind of job, because you have to like really make sure.
And you're staring at a screen for like 9 hours a day. It's fun. Jesus. I mean, like how many people are able to say that they literally watch TV for a living? You know,
Yeah.
it's great, but it's exhausting. And I'm hoping to one day. It would be awesome if I were to say that I filmed for National Geographic.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Well, so I do also want to ask a little bit about you're involved with the station Zeus.
Ooh.
Well,
Okay. So I'm sure a lot of people, because that network is like smaller than other networks. Like it's not necessarily on TV. It's like an app now.
Yeah.
But Zeus is like a network for these new reality TV shows that are coming out.
Okay.
And they're their own network. They have an app online, and I guess you can add it to your TV now. But they have these shows. One being called One Mo Chance, and I think you know who Chance is, if anybody remembers him from like I Love New York. What were his earlier shows? I can't even recall.
I think the first show, if
I Love Money.
I think he was in, I forgot about, I think the first show, if I recall correctly, he was in, I think Daisy of Love. I don't, no, maybe maybe not, maybe it was New York. I don't know.
I think it was, maybe it was I Love New York. I can't even recall. But I'm sure a lot of people know who that is. But he made like a new dating show on this network, Zeus, which has become really big over the past like year and a half or so. They now have like over 1 million subscribers or 1 million followers on Instagram alone. And some blog page just reached out to me one day because they saw something in mine, and they were like, "Oh, hey, would you be willing, or are you interested in being a host for interviews for the show, and for my channel?" And I was like, sure. I was just like, oh, it's cool that somebody thought of me to do that. And 2 days later, they were like, oh, we got someone to interview with you. And I was like, oh.
2 days later?
Yeah, it was insane. And I was like, wait, I don't think I'm ready for this.
It's like, I barely accepted it.
I hadn't even watched the show by then, because I lied. I said that I did. So I quickly watched the first 3 episodes, and I wrote down questions that I thought would work. And I interviewed the person, and people watched it, and we got like 50,000 views on it. And I was like,
wow.
You know what? This is cool.
That is pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah, and it just like went on from there. It was just something that I thought was going to be, fun. I didn't think it was going to be a recurring thing, but then we ended up getting enough people to watch it that on my YouTube channel, because that's where we upload all our stuff, all our interviews, we ended up getting monetized, and now we get paid for it. So it's like,
wow,
decent side money.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You do those a lot too, I feel like, because I've seen quite a few, at least when I was kind of stalking your profiles and your social media and everything. I saw a lot of those.
Yeah,
at least a fair amount.
Done a lot of them. I think probably over 30 at this point.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, we do like one. We try to at least do one once a week, but sometimes the people on the show just aren't available. They have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Which is it's on their schedule. I want to make sure that they're available. It's cool. I talk to them for like 2 hours sometimes, and yeah, once we put them out, and we've had I had 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube, and ever since we started, I have almost over 7,000 now.
Wow,
which is pretty cool.
Congrats, by the way. That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's fantastic.
It's a fun little thing. Like at first, I was embarrassed of it because I was like, if I tell my mom what I'm doing, she would be like, she would never watch it, and then she'd be like, "This is ridiculous." But I thought about it, and I was like, look, it's not like I'm replacing my full-time job with it, and it's something that I do for 2 hours once a week,
and it's cool,
and I get paid for it.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting really cool people, and they're trying to get me other gigs too now, which is really awesome.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we talked about this a little bit before recording just now, but when I saw the show, I was watching a little bit of each interview, not all of them, but pieces of the interviews I saw. And I was like, what is this show? Like, what is it? One Mo
Chance. It's ridiculous.
One Mo Chance. So then I started watching One Mo Chance. I saw the first 2 episodes.
Oh, so you know how crazy it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the first 2. They had them free, I think, on YouTube.
They probably had it on YouTube, yeah. I think they've released a couple episodes for free on there.
Okay. Yeah, I was going through it. I was like, this show is. I thought New York and Flavor of Love and all those shows were funny and crazy. This show, I think, is a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, and then when I saw Chance, at first I was like, why does that guy look so familiar?
Yeah.
And then I was like, is that Chance from like Stallionaires from like a decade ago?
Exactly.
Which is kind of cool to.
Still looking for love.
Yeah, he honestly looks the same.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny after like. It's got to be like 10 years at least.
Unfortunately, he doesn't act the same. The ladies that are on his show, he is so disrespectful to. And that's one thing that I've said to like like me and the girls that I interview now have like one thing in common. And it's the fact that we hate the fact that he degrades every single woman on that show. Because, he has his like sense of humor, which was funny back then. But now he takes it to a level where it's just disrespectful. And I can't stand him. So people are like, are you going to interview Chance? And I'm like, nope.
If given the opportunity, would you do it? You wouldn't do it?
I don't think so, because I don't think I'd be able to be respectful enough. I'd be like, I don't like you. That's interview over.
Out of curiosity,
I probably would.
I mean, I feel like that'd be an interesting.
Yeah.
If nothing else, it'd be probably funny.
Yeah.
Unless it like boils your blood to the point where you're just like, I can't.
I'm only seeing what I say this about every single person I interview. I can't base my interpretation and like what I think about somebody based off of a 40-minute episode. So for all I know, he's a completely different person when you talk to him off camera without 1,500 lights and cameras in his face. He's probably a completely different person. So he might be very nice and respectful. And yeah, if that opportunity ever came around, I probably would. As much as I want to say that I wouldn't, I would.
Yeah.
I'll give everyone a fair shot.
Out of curiosity, I don't know what you can and cannot say, but what, I guess, if you're able to share, what's something that the girls on the show have said? I'm just curious. You said that he's like disrespectful. I'm just on the show, from
like
what I've
he
seen,
literally called two girls that were sisters, saying that they do incestual stuff, which is obviously is not true. He made fun of a girl that had a pimple on her lip, saying that she had herpes, called people gonorrhea and syphilis. And he, like, there's this girl that literally has no butt. He nicknamed her Flatback. Called a fatter girl Roly Poly. He literally, Roly Poly snack meals. So some people take it as a joke, and some people, like, a lot of the stuff he says is really funny, but sometimes he's just a dick.
Yeah, I'm always curious for like reality TV. I imagine this is the case for everyone, but especially for the main character, the main person of the show. I imagine they turn up their personality to like 20, just for the entertainment factor, which I think is fine.
You can't really blame them fully, because it's probably production in their ear telling them like, "Hey, you need to take it up a notch."
Yes, yeah,
and I get it. It's the entertainment industry, so wow, that made it sound like I was talking about porn. But yeah, it's the entertainment industry, and I get it. It's for TV, so I just think that you can be funny in ways without like, you've been told so many times that you're hurting people's feelings, so it's like you could tone it down a bit and still be yourself.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, are you working on anything now, as far as like a personal project? Because I saw quite a few on your
so I want to work on a few personal projects. Like, I have like 3 short films written that I really want to work on, but the biggest thing is finding the right actors and then finding the right locations to film at. And it sucks. I always feel like living in Virginia, there aren't many good places to do stuff like that, and we don't have as much talent here, like acting wise, as I'd like to find. I use a website called Backstage, not Backpage, Backstage. Backpage is different. Backstage is for actors. And it's really difficult. A lot of people just don't reply, or understandably will not act in your film unless you have a bigger budget. And I get that. So that's kind of held me back. Like, I've had these films written for like 3 years. I'm hoping to really try to film at least one this year. And then another passion of mine, clearly, as you see, that I'm working on like interviews for reality TV stars. I really want to film my own reality show, and I've done part of that before. Not with me in it. I want to like produce one.
That'd be awesome.
And another issue is, your budget. So it's difficult, but I think something might be coming up soon to make that happen. I can't speak too much on it, but it kind of is attached to one of the girls from Zeus that I have interviewed and spoken to, and she might be helping me out to get me a little project, like try to get one of my projects done and get me out there. So there's something cool that comes out of these little small fun interviews.
Yeah.
And gaining these women's respect that have a bigger following than me.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm curious if you're willing, are you allowed to like leak just one of the projects that you, not like say too much so someone can
I'm trying to think of how to explain this one without ruining it, but it's a short film. It's called Ride, and it's about an Uber driver who picks someone up, and this person doesn't seem right. So throughout the drive, something happens, and then the Uber driver has to, I guess you can say, do an investigation to find out what's going on with this person.
Interesting.
After the ride's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it turned into like, I want to write this 5-minute short film. And then I was like, nope, there's not enough detail. So now it's probably like a 20-minute film. I'm trying to cut back on it a little bit more. So that's the difficult part. When you have so much going on in your brain and you have so many ideas, it's hard to really create just a short film and have enough detail for people to understand fully what's going on.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Jimmy Tatro by any chance?
I haven't.
He's sort of an OG YouTuber, so I call him.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to watch him back when, like 2010, like a decade ago. I don't know if he even does YouTube anymore, but he kind of started getting into like skits on his YouTube channel. Yeah. And then it evolved into short films-ish.
Okay.
Like really short films.
Yeah.
Then they kind of found him on YouTube. He was in what's the movie with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill?
They're like talking about a comedy movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't remember what it's called.
This happens all the time, and it's gonna bother me for the rest of the night if I can't think of it. And I love that movie.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was in the second one though, where they're in college.
21 Jump Street.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
yeah.
Okay. I think 22 Jump Street is the second one.
Okay, yeah.
But he's in 22 Jump Street. Blue Mountain State had a movie, if you're familiar with that show. He was in that. And then he ended up doing a it was like a mock reality show. It was like the Real Bros of Simi Valley.
Oh, like making fun of the real world. Almost.
Yeah. It was like an over the top kind of reality show.
Yeah.
But it was actually like each episode was like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But it was super funny.
Yeah.
Because they were just so like, it was so over the top. So I think some channel actually saw it and they picked him up. So I don't think he does YouTube anymore. I think he just does.
That's awesome.
And it's a real show now.
That's my goal, is to just maybe do a lower budget project, and then hopefully I can pitch it to someone and they'd pick it up. That's also where it almost seems like you need to know the right people, or it's just a chance of luck and a coincidence where somebody really higher up sees your work and they're like, oh, that's worth making a bigger budget film,
Yeah, they're scouting for talent. They're like, this
goals.
is pretty.
Yeah.
But I thought about that. I was like, that could happen one day.
Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious, when you, I guess, like when you're thinking about these ideas for, I guess, your short films you have in mind, or for anything else you've done in the past,
right?
Do you have a certain process you use, or is it one of those things where you're just kind of out one day, something clicks, and you're like, let me go home and write this? Or is it very intentional, let me sit here, like maybe there's a small idea, and you're sitting there, you're like, I got to evolve this idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sucks? The time that I get all of these ideas, I'm telling you, like 80% of the time is when I'm in bed, laying down and trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Which means I don't sleep much. Yeah. And I've learned my lesson where I've come up with these awesome ideas laying in bed. I'm like, this is freaking great. I'm going to write it down the second I wake up because I don't want to get out of bed right now. Mm-hmm. Rightfully so. I'm like half asleep. And then I wake up in the morning and I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So from now on, what I've been doing is, if I have an idea in my mind, I just pull out my phone real quick, make sure the brightness is down so I can fall back asleep, and go in my notes and just write a vague description as to what my idea is. And then by reading that in the morning, I kind of remember everything that I had in my brain the night before. And then I just try to jot down notes as to, like maybe character ideas, plot ideas, and then I just move from there. I maybe talk to a couple of my friends and say, hey, this is an idea that I have. Do you have anything to add on that you think would be cool for this story to make it more original? And a lot of them do. And then I basically just start writing it in my, what's it called? In the script app that I have called Writer's Duet, which is great.
Writer's Duet?
Writer's Duet, yeah.
Writer's Duet.
It's literally for script writing, and they make it really simple for people that have never done script writing before.
Okay.
And they show you exactly what buttons you're supposed to click to make it look like a proper script. Thankfully, I took a script writing class in college, and that helped a lot. That was one thing that really helped me in this industry. But yeah, I don't have a professional process at all.
I mean, I mainly ask just because this kind of comes from some musicians that I've interviewed on the show and that I know personally, not like big musicians, but just like kind of smaller musicians. Everyone has such a different process, so I'm always curious to know what, like, any artist in general, no matter what kind of art it is, like, what do they do? Because I know, like, I've heard, for example, like Bruno Mars will just sit there and he'll play like guitar. I know he's not film, but he'll sit there and just like play guitar. Yeah. And then randomly, after like 2 hours, he'll hear like a chord progression that sounds good, and he's like, okay, this could be a song. And then he'll just kind of focus on that progression. So I don't know. I was thinking, like, as someone who might do a film, is it something similar where you're just kind of jotting down random ideas and then something gets thrown on the table and you're like, these three things could be.
I mean, it's sometimes different. It's not always just like when I'm in bed. It could be when I'm watching a specific movie. I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. I bet I could put like a twist on that and make it my own. But I try not to do that too much because then I feel like I'm not being original, and I'm just trying to take parts of other movies. But it's really hard nowadays, especially me, because I want to make like horror films and thrillers. It's really hard to make an original horror film nowadays.
Yes.
Really difficult.
Like,
I think the last film that felt like original to me and scared the crap out of me was Hereditary.
I've never seen that.
You haven't?
No.
Watch it.
What?
It's insane.
Is that new, or is that?
It's within the last like 3 years. A24.
I've not seen this.
Oh, you have to watch it because they have Hereditary and Midsommar, which is the same director, and that dude is messed up in the head, clearly.
Midsommar, I want to see.
Okay,
and I haven't.
So
seen
what that is?
I know that one. That's the one with the I'm thinking about the flowers.
Yes.
Yep. And it's like
that's not necessarily. I wouldn't consider it a horror.
Yeah.
But it's disturbing.
I've heard. Yeah.
Hereditary is a very disturbing horror.
Huh. I gotta see it.
It's one of those films where I recommend it to everybody. Like, please see it in the theater, because the experience that I got out of seeing it in the theater, as opposed to watching it again at home like a few months later, it wasn't nearly the same. And I saw the same reaction to people that I recommended it to, and I would like watch it with them at home, their house, and they didn't get the same reaction. But watch it with the lights off and volume loud.
I might watch it this weekend.
You should.
It sounds like a good movie.
It's great.
Yeah. How do you? I know we're getting into like horror movies, but how do you feel about the Conjuring movies?
I like them, but it's one of those films kind of like Paranormal Activity, where when it first came out, they hyped it so much and was like, this is going to be the scariest movie you've seen in 10 years, when really it was just a ton of jump scares.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the story was good, the acting was good, so I can appreciate that. And The Nun really scared the crap out of me, honestly, whenever it was on screen. Not the actual movie The Nun, but The Nun in the Conjuring movies. Because the separate movie The Nun was trash.
Yeah.
terrible.
I didn't see it because I heard everyone told me, they were like, don't watch it. So
Save
I
your
didn't
time.
see it. So.
Oh, watch Hereditary instead. But yeah, The Conjuring was good.
Yeah, I like the. I think about The Conjuring because I like watching horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one time. This is a random story. One time where was I at? I went, I think, to California or something, and I was coming home, and one of my buddies wanted to watch a horror movie, and he had never seen Conjuring, and he also gets scared really easily. So he's like, dude, let's watch Conjuring.
Those are the best.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. He's funny, but he's like, let's watch Conjuring. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I've seen it like 3 times, but let's watch it. We put it on. He turns off all the lights. We lived together at one point, and we're in the living room. He turns off all the lights,
Knowing that he's gonna pee himself.
yeah. So I sit I had my luggage. I didn't even take my luggage because I lived in the basement at the time with
Yeah.
him. I didn't even take my luggage to the basement. I just sat it on the stairs. It was one of those standard luggage bags. You pull the top up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Go it around. Top is still up. I sit it there. We start watching the movie. About halfway into the movie, once the demon officially starts.
You had already seen it at this point, or no?
I've seen it at least. I think I'd seen the movie about 2 or 3 times.
Okay,
so I already knew what was going to happen.
Okay.
So this is the point where the demon starts to be a demon and scary and starts to do his creepy stuff that he does. My luggage randomly falls over. Hard. Yeah. So my friend paused the movie. He was like, "Why'd that just happen?"
I would do the same thing.
And I was like, so me, whenever I watch a horror movie, I think to keep myself from getting too scared, I try to logically justify everything. And I'm like, oh, it fell because the top was up, gravity pulled it. And it's coincidence that it just happened to fall now. And he's like, but it fell just now. It could have fallen the entire movie, and it just fell.
It's literally the demon from The Conjuring.
So it was crazy because it kind of felt that way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it falls, and then as more stuff in the movie starts happening, and this is the creepier part, at least to me it was creepy, something in our kitchen just fell. To this day, I couldn't tell you what it was.
Okay, so at the end of the day, your house was haunted.
So we for a while we actually thought the house was haunted because we don't know what fell. Something did fall in the kitchen. We both heard it. We both checked.
Was that night the only instance where stuff like that happened?
No, there's been other times.
Okay.
So we made a
Demon.
we made a little funny joke about a YouTube skit, a series of skits we were gonna do, and the skit was my neighbor is a demon. And it was gonna be a funny this guy moves into a townhouse because we lived in a townhouse, and this is actually legal. This is real. If you're a real estate agent, haunted houses you don't have to disclose if a house is haunted. So in theory, you could sell someone a haunted house.
These are terrible.
At least in Virginia. So the joke was realtor helps this guy move into a house.
Yeah.
It's haunted, but he's young, so he's kind of broke. He can only afford to live there. He can't really afford to move.
Right.
And he finds out that there's a demon. And so the demon is because every horror movie, the demon fucks with people. It takes until the end for the demon to actually do dangerous
crazy
stuff.
shit. Yeah.
So the premise is the demon gets in, but he's not a demon that's trying to scare you away. He's just a dick. So some of the scenes would be the guy's eating cereal, and he comes back, the cereal's gone.
Oh, he just messes with you.
He just fucks around. That's all he does. The cereal's gone.
Okay, I get it. You can possess me. Don't take my food.
Yeah.
that's where we draw the line.
So we were thinking the first few episodes would be just the main character is legitimately terrified. It's so common. All his furniture's gone. That's always one of the main things. The furniture's on the roof or something, or on the ceiling, I should say. And then eventually he just grows to adapt to it.
That would be hilarious. Wait, so you haven't actually gotten to do that, have you?
No, we wanted to, then we just never.
Let me film it.
But that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah!
I thought, I don't know, it's a random tangent, but I thought that'd be a funny.
No, that would be super fun to do.
It's half horror, but it's really a comedy.
Yeah,
it's just making fun of all.
No, I love that. That's a great idea.
But
I wish I came up with original stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just it feels like a spoof, a scary. What was those Wayans Brothers scary movie?
Oh, Scary Movie 1, 2, 3. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I love those.
I do too. I've only
I literally quote those ones. They're so stupid that it makes it they're hilarious. What's her name? I think her name in Scream is Gail Weathers. Yeah, and her name in Scary Movie is Gail Hailstorm. It's just small stuff like that makes me crack up.
Yeah. You know what's funny? They don't do a lot of I feel like they don't do a lot of spoof movies.
They don't anymore. I wish they did.
They used to do them a lot. I feel like back in the 2000s.
Yeah, those were great.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss the days when you could just go walk into Blockbuster
Yeah.
And like look at movies for like an hour and then grab a ton of snacks.
Yeah.
Blockbuster was like that was a great era when we could do that. Now it's just Netflix. Can't.
Yeah. Blockbuster had there was a certain experience
Mm-hmm.
to going to Blockbuster. Netflix.
New movies every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my mom had like a whole thing where like it was like a treat where like if I acted up or got bad grades, I wasn't going on Tuesday to Blockbuster. But if I did well and like I was in her good grace, then we were going on Tuesday, and she was like, coming home from school, and she was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yes." Best part of the week.
Yeah. No, those are the good days.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's probably like the best, at least so far in my 29 years of existence.
I think there's still. I mean, the last time I saw it was like a year ago online that there's one Blockbuster left in the world. I don't know where it is.
I think it's like Alaska or Jersey, something.
But
like
it's
that.
somewhere like
Yeah.
I'm gonna move there.
Yeah. Just for Blockbuster.
I'll move there and then they'll close it. I'm gonna make my own Blockbuster. That'd be fun.
That could be the next thing.
Yeah,
Could be the next thing.
they need to. I don't know why get rid of all the movie stores. It's literally an experience, and they would still get so much money.
Yeah. As this is kind of random, I'm a little bit upset. Sometimes I think about just how as time goes on, technology makes things easier, but it also, I don't know, in a weird way, it makes things
Takes away the nostalgia.
it makes it too easy almost.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll go to a movie theater and my friends will say like, why are you going to a movie theater when you can just watch the movie on like YouTube or wait like a week for it to come out, get it on DVD or Redbox? And I'm like, there's something about going to the movie, buying the ticket, sitting in the seat, watching it with the surround sound, this huge screen. The experience to me is worth the price.
Oh yeah, agreed.
It's, I don't know, it's not the same as like I could go on YouTube or whatever movie streaming service there is, but I don't know. It's just
Not only that, but like if you're at home and you're watching a movie, there's so many things that are going to distract you, right? I mean, someone could walk in, or your husband, wife, whatever could walk in. You get a phone call, look at your phone. Everyone's always on their phone. You're in a movie theater, like you're basically like forced to just stare at the screen, put your phone down, put on silence, unless you're one of those weird people that pays $20 for a movie to text. Maybe someone drags you to a movie you don't want to see, but I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And during COVID, that was my favorite thing to do, is go to a movie because theaters were so empty.
Yeah.
And the new rule of like blocking off 2 people to your left and blocking off 2 people to your right, they made that a thing for COVID. And I was like, you guys should have thought about this like 10 years ago, because again, I don't want to hear people chew or talk, so I love it.
My thing at the movie theaters is always the armrest, because I always like to use the armrest.
Yeah.
But if someone's next to me, I don't want to be rude, so I want to give them the armrest, but I feel like they don't use it either. So.
I want to use both.
Yeah.
So go away. That's one thing. I think when we saw Scream, like the whole theater's open, and me and my sister were the first people there. We picked our seats out, and then all these people are coming in, right? And 80% of them sit on the same row as us, and literally right next to us. And so I just like go up to someone like works there, and I was like, "Do you mind if I move just to the front? I'm sorry, like I don't mean to be annoying, but if once the movie starts and nobody else comes in, can I just move?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." Thanks.
It's like, why did everyone use like the exact same row that we're
I should have just like fake coughed. Just like, sorry, my bad. Just get him away from me.
Well, I do want to ask, I guess I don't want to take too much of your time.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry. This is fun.
First question I have, is there anything I did not ask you that you want to kind of talk about or bring up? Maybe something you're like secretly about to promote and you're trying to like get some hype for?
No, again, kind of going back to what I was saying, I don't know, like I think I can speak a little bit more on it, where I'm trying to basically like collab with one of that girl that helped me out from the show. And she basically got me in contact. She's trying to create her own show, right?
Okay.
And she's not working with Zeus.
Okay.
She's like, I don't really like Zeus anymore. They suck. So she's trying to work with this new network, not as big, but they're quickly growing.
Okay.
I don't want to say the name yet because nothing's official. But she said, I saw your work and I'm going to be filming the show in the DC area. And she's like, I want you to produce it. And I was like,
That's
whoa.
really cool. Yeah.
And then 2, she told them about me, the network, and they reached out to me and they were like, we want you to like edit for us for like our whole network. And it was like, wait,
That's awesome.
wait, what?
That's
so
really cool.
It's not official. We just had one discussion, so I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but it was just one flattering, and it was like, wow, you guys thought of me. That's really awesome. Like little old me, like when you guys have hundreds of thousands of followers. So it's just cool.
He's putting
Like
himself down.
there's a possibility that
undermining his-
something big might happen, and yeah, I'm excited for that if it does become an actual thing and come to light.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Because then I'd be actually like, if I filmed her show, or even if it's something stupid, I would be doing what I want to do and being behind the camera. And I am interested in reality TV. I think the whole concept of it is fun, even though some of it is still scripted.
Yeah.
Being behind the camera is what I love to do. That run and gun. As much as I love editing, I think I've gained so much damn weight from sitting behind a computer and being able to just like run and gun, run around the whole time. You don't fully expect what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And being in control of everything that is shown on a TV, to me, is so cool. So I'm hoping that is something that actually works out.
That would be awesome
Yeah.
when it works out.
Thank you.
When it
Thank you.
works
I
out.
like that. I like that mentality.
You made me think about another question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite reality show, if you have one? If one comes to mind, if you have one.
Oh, that's hard. I used to love the OG Real Worlds. Not necessarily OG because I think I was too young to watch those ones, but like season like 10 and up, Before they did like the spin-offs and stuff where it was like, oh, you bring your exes in. I thought those were kind of corny.
Yeah.
But the Real World was how I got introduced to reality TV, and
Me too.
I think this is connected to that because they take the people from the Real World and put them on the challenge, and I'm obsessed with the challenge.
Oh,
Not the same anymore. They still make it. Not nearly.
don't even give me.
But it's great.
I wanted to apply for the challenge. I almost
Did you?
So I wanted to be on Real World, and I almost applied for Real World.
I applied for Real World too.
Did you?
I made it to almost the finals of casting, and then they picked someone.
Oh,
Yeah, I was devastated.
part of me still wants to try. I don't know if the age.
So
limit for at
what
least the
sucks now is that I think they're completely done with the Real World unless they revamp it. But the challenge they still do. But now it's like they don't pick just regular people like us. They just pick people from MTV. They pick people from Big Brother now and other reality shows. So it's basically all these people that are well known.
Okay,
Which is cool.
That's fair. I mean,
But it's like it would be cool to see some new faces that nobody's ever seen before. Maybe like do a mashup of like half people that are well known and then half people that are these newbies. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. One thing I thought about doing. This is probably really bad to say, like out loud, because I really one of my goals was kind of to be on like at least a challenge. It looks fun and stressful. But
Yeah, I
fun
have dreams
too.
about it.
Huh?
I have dreams about it.
Yeah. Part of me was thinking about like, because there's some characters on the challenge I legitimately just do not like.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me was like, what if I go on like Instagram or like Twitter and just talk mad shit? Like, just go like out of my way to just be that guy.
I've done that.
Yeah. Just like every post they have.
Legit done that. I've gotten blocked by a few. Purposefully. Meant for that to happen.
That's an idea I had. Just like talk so much shit that people see it and there's like, all right, maybe this guy, they'll like call me out and be like, he's talking all this shit. Bring him on the show.
Right, exactly.
Maybe he'll like back it up and I lose him like the first round.
Literally thought about the exact same thing. And that show intrigues me so much because of how much goes into it and how much they must have to spend. Like their budget. There's no way they don't spend at least like $5 million per season on that show. With, I mean, the way that they build those the actual challenges, the houses are insane. The amount of camera people and audio people they must have to have. It is, I mean, I'm sure the mortgage or the rent alone for that place is like $1 million for the time that they spend there.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking about like I was looking online to see if anyone gets paid, if any of the participants gets paid. From what I understand, I don't know how true this is. From what I understand, some of them, like Johnny Bananas when he was more active, like CT, Car Maria, some of the more consistent, I guess, popular people get paid a little bit.
Yeah,
I should say a little bit.
They get paid a lot more. Yeah,
a lot. Yeah, but then I was thinking about, okay, so these guys get paid. They probably pay for at least some of their flights.
I'm sure they pay for like networks. I'm sure they pay for all of them.
Yeah.
All the flights.
Oh, like okay. I don't know if like the new rookies, if the rookies had to pay.
Actually,
or,
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. I figure at least like Johnny Bananas and CT. Some of the veterans, they're definitely paying for them. So you're paying for like
they get like
them.
royalty treatment.
Yeah, you're paying for like hotels if they have to stay at a hotel if they get into a fight and they got to go.
Right.
Medics, I'm sure you have to pay the medics just in case someone gets hurt.
Just to have them on site the whole time.
Have them on site. All the camera people, all the people planning the.
I think about that all the time. That's why when I think about like doing my own reality show, not that I would ever do something that extreme because it's just not. There's no way. Yeah. But it's like even so with 3 people on the show, I would have to in a house or something. You got to rent out the house for however long. Have those camera people. You got to pay them for the time that they're not working. Yeah. They're taking off. Then you got to pay the audio people. If you really wanted to have high quality, you got to have a decent budget. And it's like, unless you take out a loan or unless you already got a lot in your account, which that is not me.
That would be.
It's difficult.
Yeah. And Challenge, at least I don't know about all the shows on MTV. I know the Challenge. They seem to ramp up seasons.
Yeah.
Like when I used to watch it a few years ago, like more, what's a good word for it? I used to look forward to it a lot more. Now I don't get to watch as much because now I don't have like cable. Yeah. So I have to watch it on the computer. Okay. So it's more of a barrier to watch it.
Yeah.
But they'd have it like every year, like every other year.
I think they're kind of doing that now. I mean, I think it's been a little bit longer, but it seems like every year and a half they have a season.
I feel like it's faster now.
Oh, maybe. I think maybe you're right.
Because I feel like lately it's been like
now that I think about it,
2 a year. Then they also have like Paramount.
You're right. So and they have the Paramount the All-Star seasons.
Yeah. So I was like, they're really churning these out. Like their budget must be.
I don't get how they do it so quick. It's like even if it's one challenge a week, I'm thinking like realistically when they're filming, how do you build that in 1 week?
That's why I was wondering. That's
like. And not like we're talking about camera people, camera operators, audio people. How much are they paying those people to build those sets? That's insane. Yeah. I would love to. Like I've always thought about if I can't be on that show, I want to be behind the scenes of that show and see how it goes down. That'd be so cool to see.
Yeah,
that'd be so entertaining.
I always think about stuff like that. And by the way, if you're pressed for time at all,
not at all.
Speaking of reality shows, do you ever seen? Do you know who Nelk is?
Nelk, no.
They're like a prankster channel. They recently started a podcast, and they had Pauly D,
really
from Jersey Shore on, which was interesting because
maybe I do know who that is.
But they were asking about like what it is to be on reality TV, filming in the Jersey Shore house, and he was saying that one thing that was kind of interesting. He was saying that I bring this up because this is a question I've always wondered. Mm-hmm. Jersey Shore, one of the main things about the show is that the guys, at least, the girls would do it too, but the guys did a lot, would always bring home girls. Yeah. And I've always wondered, like, do you sleep with the girls? Like, first of all, you're all in a room together. It's kind of.
I'm sure they do.
So he was, one thing that was weird, they asked him, they were like.
Was this recent, by the way, this interview?
Yeah, like
because I think I literally saw the thumbnail of it and I never clicked on it. But it was like ask Pauly D whether Jersey Shore is scripted and then
it's
etc. Ooh, I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were asking, do they film while they're smushing? Mm-hmm. And Pauly said that they film 24/7 and they have cameras.
The cameras,
like he said he could hear the I guess
the thing like swiveling.
Yeah. He's like so you can hear it at night like moving around. You can hear them like recording. And I was like, I can't imagine. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Like being the editor and being like, oh, cool, I have to go through this footage and like
I feel literally like see
this everything.
I feel like the editor gets a little show because he gets like a sex tape.
But, exactly.
But I'm just picturing like your situation. You bring home a girl and you guys are doing your thing or whatever, and you just hear.
Right. And you're like, I know exactly what they're doing. It's funny, the little reality show that I told you that I did, it was called Bad Blood, and we had these 2 guys that had bad blood with each other, and they were ex-best friends, and they tried to, mend their issues. And we're filming them, and I have them mic'd up. I put a microphone on both of them, and there's a scene where one of them's like, can I take a break?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead. Goes to the bathroom. And I hear him on the phone, so I like plug in my headphones so that I can hear what he's saying, so that I need to know whether like we should keep rolling or not. and I hear him pee the whole time. And I'm like, is this what people have to deal with, like production? And I'm sure they do. I'm sure they hear people like piss and fart all the time, which is really awkward. And other stuff that is probably unpleasing to listen to.
Yeah. I wonder if they have to do that while they sleep. Like if someone's awake at night while, I don't know, in case maybe one gets up and drama happens.
Yeah, I guess they probably have like shifts with producers to be like, you know, I got morning shift, you got night shifts, and you got to stay up all night and watch those security cameras to make sure nothing happens. If something happens, get production out there. They have like, it's weird. I've seen on same with Real Worlds and a few like the challenge and stuff. They always have literally secret production rooms. And if you see like the next time you see like an argument break out and security comes out, sometimes you'll see like just this random door that looks like it's hidden.
Yeah.
Almost in like Harry Potter, like them just come out of nowhere, out of the wall.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, where the hell was that? It's their production room.
I think one of the episodes, I bring up Jersey Shore because I was binging Jersey Shore.
I used to love that show.
Ago. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic show.
It's great. Very educational, guys.
Top quality education.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a one of the episodes, they're like in Atlantic City in season 1, and Jay Wild backhands situation.
Oh yeah.
And I saw the security guy come out, and I was like, where did he come from? Like, what room of this little?
He was probably like, because that wasn't. Were they in a hotel at that point?
Yeah.
I bet you he was like, you know how hotels have like the connecting rooms?
Yeah.
They were probably like in that connecting room and just had that open that real quick.
They're just ready. They're like, let's go. We gotta break it up.
That show was great.
Yeah. I would.
Now they have the family vacation on MTV, Jersey Shore, and they're like older now. It's very boring. They're still funny, but
I've seen one season, but I feel like because of their age and because of, I guess, their lifestyle now, a lot of the things that made them funny initially no longer. Yeah. Like Dina has like a kid, so she's not getting drunk.
They
all
like
the time.
all have kids now.
Kids. Situations.
Dina has two. Dina has almost. Wait, no, she has 2 kids now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The situation's as horrible as it is to say. He's sober now, so he's not as funny.
He's not as funny because he's so chill. He's like cool. And like,
little did we know the entire time that we watched Jersey Shore as kids, he was kids. I mean, yeah, we were kids. He was on drugs.
Yeah, didn't he have to go to rehab?
Oh yeah, and then prison.
And then prison for like
first taxes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Paulie's about. He's not hooking up the same because he's older and he's got like a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
He's probably the most similar.
That's another thing, like about reality TV. I felt so bad for that girl. Did you watch the show, his dating show, where he picked that girl?
I saw some of the first season. I didn't watch the second season.
He made her look crazy on that show. Like she was obsessed with him for no reason. She did, and like everybody hated her when watching the show. And then come to find out, he was actually obsessed with her also. And
really, was he really?
And then they fell in love. Yeah.
I always wondered, like, why did he get with her? Because I remember that first season, he was like avoiding her almost.
Yeah.
She was. Yeah. So did they get together season 2? Or
I have no idea. But same thing happened apparently where I just read this article like 3 days ago that one of the girls that was Pauly D's stalker on the original Jersey Shore, I think her name was like Danielle. She was a Jewish girl.
Yeah.
And she had written an article and she was like, I do not like she tried to like sue the MTV, which you can never do for the company that big. Basically saying like the way that you guys like portrayed me was completely wrong. And she is like, little did you know that me and Pauly D knew each other before the show filmed. Like we had been going out on dates.
Really?
And off camera he was like, he misses me. He was calling me all the time. So she was like, the way that like when the cameras rolled, he was like, oh, who is that girl? Get her away from me. Like apparently he would plan to make her come out, and then the cameras would turn on, and he'd be like, "Why are you here?" So, producers know what they're doing and editors know how to portray people the way that they want their story to go.
Yeah,
on reality TV. That's why I've always wanted to do like a show where I can just tell people confidently, like, the way that you act, like I'm gonna air it that way, and I'm not gonna try and make you look like something else.
Yeah, like a character. Mm-hmm. Reality TV to me, whoever creates it, the writers, producers, whatever, they are experts in human psychology. Just because, like, I'll watch some Real World episodes, and they go out of their way to find people who they know will fight, at least at some point. It's like, these two people are polar opposites.
They literally get people that have completely different personalities.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
know that like being in a house together that they're gonna clash. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I know somebody from I forgot who it was and from what show it was. Somebody that I talked to a long time ago, like on social media, and they had told me that before they went on whatever show they went on, they had to do a full like psych test.
Yeah.
That the producers made them do. Like they had to make sure that they weren't like clinically insane.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that psych test told the producers like
Everything they
you're like off the handle. And so when we put you in this house, you're gonna go off when something minuscule happens. You know.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not surprised. It's insane. It's insane. They're the masters of
I'm
psychology.
ashamed to say that I still watch reality TV the amount that I do, but I don't care. It's entertaining. It's so much fun.
I feel like reality TV gets a bad rap, and I don't know why. Like,
I do. I will say I do enjoy more than. Is there a way to even say more mature reality series like Married at First Sight? Have you seen that show? Like that show is great. Married at First Sight.
What is that?
It's legit where they take people that have had horrible dating experiences in the past, bring them on the show, and say, like, make them do this huge questionnaire, interview them for months what they're looking for in a mate, and bring them on and say, we matched you with somebody, we found someone perfect for you. You're not going to see what they look like, hear what they have a conversation with them. It's like an arranged marriage. Like you're getting married tomorrow, and then they're immediately married. They have their wedding. They go on a excursion and have their honeymoon, and they spend time with the other couples, and it gets crazy. Like a lot of them will like behind their spouse's back try to like have sex with the other couples and stuff. It's wild.
I might have to watch that.
It is. You would like, since you like reality TV, you would love it.
Is that MTV or is that?
It's so. What's weird? It's on Lifetime, which I never knew Lifetime made shows like that. But it is a reality show, and I think they have it on. They now have a few seasons on Netflix.
Huh. I'm gonna watch that.
You're gonna be hooked.
It sounds like that. What's that one show with the robot? It's like a dating.
Oh, is it Too Hot to Handle?
I think so.
Is it?
Where like you're not supposed to like have sex or do anything
Literally, yeah, Too Hot to Handle. It's so ridiculous.
I watched the show and like I saw like not all of the 2 seasons, but I saw like half of both seasons. And I remember I was like, first of all these people look like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. They all look like the kind of people who just don't get into relationships. They all just like sleep around. So we already know where this is going.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're going to tell these people to live on a beach where they're wearing very little clothing for like however long they're there to do nothing, and they're all in their 20s, and you think this is going to you really think they're all going to do it? Like they're all going to be broke.
Think about like the reason why I stopped watching it is because of how ridiculous it is. Like, you know how stupid it is to be like, oh my god, I can't go a month without having sex for $1 million. You're asking.
One guy cried. I was like really? Like one guy in the first episode they said it. He cried. I was like,
because he couldn't have sex.
Yeah, I was like, does this guy have sex that much?
Right. That is so ridiculous. Like it is entertaining, but it's like and honestly, let's be real. None of those people have lovely, like, intellectual personalities, and I would not be able to sit down and have a great conversation with them. They would just be like, "Sorry, I can't talk to you. I haven't had sex in 2 days."
Feel like emotional.
It's so stupid. Those are the type of people that I would never be able to get along with. It's like the bimbos and the jocks that oh god, I didn't get along with them in high school, and I would never get along with them after. I make fun of you.
Oh man, but it would be fun to at least hang out with them in that setting. Not like, maybe not even like that closely, but just like be in. Oh,
it's like do the people watching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like that'd be me in like a reality TV. I probably wouldn't indulge in the. Maybe I wouldn't want to indulge in the drama because I wouldn't want to make myself look bad on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would love to be that guy who just sits like in the background.
Yeah,
like I'm in the show, but like they're like, Lenny's kind of boring. He didn't say anything. It's like, well, I'm just watching everyone else.
Yeah, see, that's my issue is that I would want to do the same thing, but I don't think I have a good poker face. So if like someone says something stupid, I think I would like make a face like, and then they would see it and then try to argue with me, and I'm like, I didn't mean anything about it. Look, I don't want to argue. It's not my fault.
That would be me.
Don't be mad at me because you're stupid or weird.
I wouldn't even be able to have a poker face. I would just start laughing.
Yeah,
I'd just be like, I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. I would burst out into laughter and be like, wow, I can't with you people.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I feel like we can go hours.
Oh, yeah.
With the reality talk TV conversations. I do want to ask one. Technically, it's not the final question, but I do want to ask one of the final questions.
Yeah.
So I guess besides the project that might be happening in DC, what's kind of, I guess, your plan for the next 5 years? Like, where do you kind of see yourself in?
So, hope National Geographic doesn't listen to this. As much as I love National Geographic, unless I can somehow get my way into the filming aspect of things, I doubt I'm going to be staying there that long. They're great people.
You're gonna hear this.
I like the work. No, it really is fun. Like, I enjoy myself. Like, nothing to really complain about. But I have had I do my own production. I do my freelance videography all the time. I always have clients. I love it. That's side stuff, and my company is before I made an actual company, I just called it Mo Visuals, and I just made an LLC. Okay. So I need to do more research as to what I need to do to properly handle that as a company. But I'm hoping within the next 5 years, I can say that I no longer work for a company, and I have my own company, and I have hired a great team to where I don't say they're my employees. They're literally my team, like camera people. And it's like those people on YouTube. Like, have you seen like Film Riot? They are this huge, like, they were YouTubers at the beginning, and then they turned into this huge film company, and they're making millions. I'm like, wow, that's just a goal. Like, I think they just started off as friends and making stupid little films, and now they're doing the biggest things ever. Like, and yeah, that's the goal within the next 5 years, to hopefully say that I just have a great team, and we are making our own projects and working with other people, like knocking stuff out every week. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love that.
Well, in 5 years, when it happens, we're gonna reference back to this.
Yes, we will.
And it'll be like, look at that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Go back in time.
The timeline, yeah.
All right, and then the final question I want to ask: where can the viewers and the listeners find you online, or what's the best place for them to find you?
Okay, so the best place to find me is probably my Instagram, where I hate to say that I don't post enough on my actual Mo Visuals page. So don't even look there, because I've now uploaded there for like 2 years. You can find me at Don't Touch Maher. Literally, that's Don't Touch and then Maher on Instagram. So I post some of my work on there, and then I also just post personal stuff. So it's a mix, which probably will change it up. If you want to see the silly little interviews that I do with the people from reality TV, you can see on the my YouTube channel, Mo Visuals. I'm hoping I'm the only person that you can find on there under that name. But yeah, those are just little funny little videos that you can watch, and I think that's about it. Okay. Yeah.
And all of those I'll put in the captions.
Okay.
So they'll be able to easily find that.
Cool.
And if you're listening to this, and if you're watching this, definitely check out the Mo Visuals YouTube page. There was also another one about like depression that was really cool that I saw.
Oh yeah, I literally just did that with my best friend. I was like, we should, because at the time his mom had passed away.
Oh wow.
Like 2 months before, and I mean I've known him for like literally 22 years, and I've had people pass my family, and I was like, we should do a short film, and I was like, I know it's too soon, but I feel like this might be a good opportunity for you to convey, like, and for people to understand, like, what you're feeling and what I felt as well. And we just sat there. We didn't even write a script. We were just like, let's just do, like, a small thing. And did it in one day, and I was like...
Really? One day?
And then, yeah, a lot of people were... I mean, we don't have a ton of views on it, but I sent it to all my friends, and they were like, wow, that, like... I connected to that. I was like, that's all I want.
It was good and sad
at
the same time. Sad in, like, a... melancholy.
Yeah.
It's a good sad. I'll call it a good sad.
Well, looking back at it, I'm like, oh, I should have filmed it differently or something, because obviously that was like 2 years ago. So I'm like, oh, I did this. This looks terrible to me now, but it was the message to me in my eyes, So
yeah,
it was cool that I could create that with my friend.
Yeah, no, it's a great video. But definitely check out his videos. Check out his content. Check out the interviews.
Don't judge me, guys.
They're really good. They're interesting. And yeah, definitely show Maher some love on Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, follow him. But that is the episode of Meeting Virginia. I appreciate you guys for watching and for listening. And until the next episode, peace out.
And thank you guys. And thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Appreciate it.